Yes, this has become my focus, my interest, uh, checking about the design of the product called marriage. And due to the rising statistics of problematic marriages and family here in the Philippines, and even worldwide, we put up we established the Marriage and Family Institute here in the Philippines. It's a non-sectarian or non-religious organization that focuses on strengthening the marriage and the family. In fact, we call it, our advocacy is to, and for the last 30 years, I've been reviewing all those cases about marriage, and we discovered one very important principle that most married couples forget. We consulted the philosophers, we consulted the scientists, all their studies. For many centuries, they have studied this thing called marriage. And the only way that you will experience stress in marriage is when you don't know the design of the marriage. Not just the design, but the research or the scientific research about the marriage. Because they discovered that there is some nature within us that cannot be violated. There is some nature program or program by nature, an attitude that you don't control, a habit that you don't manage or invented or created. So when that is violated, it means your spouse just violated your nature. The top one needed by the husband, even the scientists have concluded, they are all in one voice telling us that the greatest need of the husband is respect. So when we say respect, you don't insult your husband. You don't make your husband feel that he is inferior to you. You don't make your husband feel bad when he is not present, or look bad in the eyes of your friends. The same with wife. There is a nature that she needs to be supplied all the time. What is that? That is love. Love. And they spell love in this way, Affection. And all these scientific findings, when you analyze them, they will always go back, the reference, they'll always go back to the nature of what is already stated in the Bible. Now, if you will recall, if you heard in some churches, they are telling us that the man came from the dust, and the woman came from the rib of the man. And there is a natural feeling for the woman afterwards. There was a reason for doing that, because God can also make the woman from the soil or from the dust, but He did not do it. So He opened the body of the man and get one rib and formed the woman. What are the effects of that? It means that she is your baby. We are the first one who produce another human being. And when you feel that you are a baby, that you are your husband's baby, you always want to be comforted all the time. Right? How do we treat the baby? We treat the baby with full care, protection, and guidance. We don't allow the child or the baby to feel hungry all the time. The baby must be fed all the time, protected all the time. That's how every woman feels. Because every woman is a man's baby, according to Dr. Miles Monroe. So that's why they expect the husband to provide for everything that you need, that they need. They expect you expect your husband to provide for everything that you need. And I understand that deep in your hearts, you just want to stay at home and be a wife and be a mother. That's how you feel. You don't invent it, you don't create that. It's a natural feeling. the moment you activated the relationship law. And so, this is one principle that most married couples are not aware of. That's why teaching it right is very important, so you can make the right decisions. When you are educated, or when you are miseducated, for sure you will make the wrong decisions. So we discovered also that one great scientist named Albert Einstein, he said, marriage is a risk. So when we say it's a risk, it can shorten or lengthen your life, depending on how you treat each other. And he said, one condition, you can only enjoy that marriage if you have the same spirit. Because one body only requires one spirit. He is right. Because even if you ask the creator of marriage, he said, the husband will leave his father and mother and cling to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And that one flesh involves your psychological, your spiritual, and your physical. Those three components that Abraham Maslow is talking about. And those three areas are the ones that you need to unite. In other words, you don't decide alone. You don't make decisions and you will just surprise your spouse later on. No. Before you decide, you have to consult your wife or vice versa. You just make one decision and you will enjoy married life. What else? In our family code, they describe marriage as special contract. Special contract. Remember that our education also came from the West. Huh? All right. So it's a special contract, which means not subject to our stipulations. And I know some of the lawyers here would agree with me. So I discovered that when it is not subject to our stipulations, it means it is not subject to our terms and conditions. We do not bring our mentality to the marriage. It is the law that will prevail, rather than your upbringing, rather than your habits or vices. Your vices is not helpful at all in the marriage. They don't help at all. So you don't bring your smoking habits. You don't bring your alcoholic habits in the marriage. It's not helpful to the marriage. In fact, it does not. Hindi siya kailangan ng marriage. No? The marriage does not require your habits to be brought there. And so, being a special contract, there is an ordinary contract that the law says also, which is a civil contract where you can dictate your own terms and conditions. But this is marriage. The law says you cannot bring your terms and conditions anymore. You will put yourself to the design of the marriage itself, of the product called marriage. And the designer is the one who can tell you how it functions. And the designer is the one who can also tell you when your product is malfunctioning. So in our teachings with the government and even in public, when couples are applying for the marriage license, whenever I ask, do you still believe in perfect marriage? But nobody is raising their hands. It only shows our ignorance to the design of the product. Especially when you don't know the meaning of the word. Socrates said, wisdom is the beginning of definition of terms. So let's define perfect first. We define a marriage already. Let's define perfect first. In my studies, I discovered that the word perfect was used at the time when scientists know how to invent measurements. So whenever they will create a product, there is always a design. So if it does not fit the design, They don't call it perfect. So when they adjust the product to the design, then they call it perfect. That's the first time they use it. So if you talk about perfect marriage, you can only enjoy that if yourselves, if both of you are aligned to the design of the product. With the designers, it is not a suggestion. It's scientifically proven that the women are created to be emotional. That makes sense. When the Creator said to the husbands, do not be harsh to your wife. And proper communication, therefore, is necessary when you talk to your wife. For example, if she cooks, and your reaction, Alan, is, why is this so salty? She will get hurt. She may not cook anymore because your first reaction was very negative. Right, girls? That's harsh, right? That's harsh. When you tell your spouse you are getting fat now, that's harsh, right? So there must be a skill for every husband how to communicate to the wife, not directly, even though your intention is very good. No? Even though you insist that you are right, that's not the right thing to say to your wife. Okay? It's not subject to your conditions or terms. When you hear the Creator of marriage tells you, wives, submit and support, or submit and respect your husband, it is not also a suggestion. It's not subject to your stipulations or terms and conditions. You cannot tell the Creator of marriage, why would I respect him if he does not love me? No. You just follow. You just comply. Okay? Because democracy is invented by the Greeks. You can never find any rights in the Bible. It's invented by the Greeks. The democracy. So when you deal with the Creator of marriage, when you deal with the Creator of the universe, you're not entitled to negotiate. You're not entitled to your rights. Okay? Because He is the King of Kings. Okay? And that is, no one has come out in the open to oppose that principle. Okay? And finally, obviously the only part of our body that is unprotected is our back. Our back. So how to fight problems together as a couple? You put yourself back to back. And I called two actors to play that, to show that to us. I called my friend from UK also. Brother, come here. He's a good friend from UK. Daniel, with his Filipino wife. Come here in front, brother. Show them how you take each other. Yeah. Back to back. They are on fighting stance. You fight the problem together. You don't blame your spouse. You don't waste time delaying the solutions, but you discuss it together. No? So that in every way the problem will attack you. You can both see it. Because when you face each other, there's a tendency for you to blame each other. So better position yourselves like this. So in every problem, even if it's beyond your control or under your control, you fight together as a couple. And you become one body. Okay? Very simple. And He will give a short message for the couple. You ready, brother?
First of all, many congratulations once again, and thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of this ceremony. I'm going to be very biased on both sides of things, both from being, of course, from England myself, and also with being with a Filipino myself for many, many years. One thing that's evident in the world, what we all need from a young age till as you both mentioned, to the very last breath, is what we need. Well, all we need is love. And the beautiful thing about love is that you can come from two completely different backgrounds, as you both are, and it can mean the same thing, and can really bring togetherness, and can really be the definition of our lives. And it's what can give us the strength to carry on. And in my experiences, as I'm sure you'll both agree, we both come from these different backgrounds, but we offer that same support, that same love, no judgment. Our families, irrespective of where they come from, they will offer their support. I'm sure with your family, Alan, they've accepted my Christiana, and my Christiana, I'm sure they've done the same with Alan as well. And that's the most beautiful thing. And the more that we can be open together, we can communicate together, look hand in hand, back to back, face the challenges that life will bring to us, and always be there for one another, it's only going to bring an eternity of happiness. And it's as evident as it is today, you two are definitely made for each other. And I'm sure there's going to be many more great years ahead. So thank you once again, and many congratulations.
I understand you have a gift for them. It's now different. We as a guest, we give you a gift. Okay? Yes, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. All right. You're surprised? All right. So that's it for my marriage homily. Please take that home and apply it in your lives, and you will surely enjoy marriage. It was already studied that when the couple performs well in the marriage institution, they get rich. What else? Their lives get longer and sweeter. It was already studied by Harvard. They are conducting 85 years of studies about the importance of investing in your relationship in the home, especially beginning with your wife, your children, and your in-laws, and your friends and relatives. That is already proven. So just apply that. Thank you, and congratulations again to the both of you. So now we'll proceed with the ring.